Welcome back to the channel to the fascinating world of American numismatics. Today, we explore the captivating Kennedy $50, a prized treasure that blends history, artistry, and collector appeal. Whether struck at the Denver Mint or issued without a mint mark, this iconic coin stands as a tangible connection to the past and continues to captivate enthusiasts worldwide. Join us as we uncover why this remarkable $50 remains a sought-after collectible and a timeless symbol of American heritage. Top 8. First up, the 1972 Kennedy $50 stands as a fascinating and emotionally powerful coin within American numismatics, captivating enthusiasts with its blend of history, symbolism, and enduring collector appeal. Often described as a prized treasure of modern U.S. coinage, this $50 continues to attract strong market interest due to its iconic design, transitional era production, and the reverence associated with President John F. Kennedy. Whether bearing the Denver D mint mark or struck without a mint mark at Philadelphia, the 1972 issue holds a special place in collections worldwide, admired for its legacy and steadily growing demand. Minted during a period of economic change and cultural reflection, the 1972 Kennedy $50 was produced less than a decade after the nation mourned the loss of President Kennedy. Introduced in 1964 as a tribute to his legacy, the series had by 1972 transitioned fully into copper-nickel-clad composition, reflecting rising silver prices and shifting mint policies. These coins served both as circulating currency and symbolic keepsakes, acting as a tangible connection to America's recent past during a time of political and social transformation. Within the broader Kennedy $50 series, the 1972 issue represents an important midpoint between the early silver era and later modern minting practices. Coins from this year were struck at the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and at the Philadelphia Mint, without a mint mark, reinforcing the traditional U.S. system where Philadelphia issues typically lacked identifying marks. This dual mint production adds depth to the series and encourages collectors to pursue complete year-end mint sets. The obverse features Gilroy Roberts' dignified portrait of President John F. Kennedy, facing left with a calm yet resolute expression. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame the design, while the date 1972 anchors the coin firmly in its historical era. In high-grade condition, the sharp hair detail and frosted surfaces create striking visual contrast, enhancing the coin's aesthetic appeal and making premium examples especially desirable to collectors. Reverse design and artistic detail. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's powerful presidential seal dominates the composition, with a heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. A ring of stars represents the original states, while United States of America and $50 complete the authoritative design. Well-preserved 1972 examples often display crisp feather detail and strong rim definition, attributes that significantly elevate collector interest. Composition and physical characteristics. The 1972 Kennedy $50 measures 30.6 mm in diameter and weighs 11.34 grams, composed of a copper-nickel-clad outer layer bonded to a pure copper core. Although no longer struck in silver, these coins retain a substantial feel that many collectors find appealing. Their durability allowed them to survive circulation, though truly pristine examples remain elusive decades later. Mint marks and production variations. Coins struck at the Denver Mint carry the D mint mark beneath Kennedy's neck, while Philadelphia Mint examples were issued without a mint mark, a detail that continues to intrigue new collectors. Subtle differences in strike quality between the mints further enhance the appeal, with Denver coins often displaying stronger details, while Philadelphia pieces sometimes show softer strikes but smoother surfaces. 8. Rarity factors and collector demand. While overall mintages were substantial, genuine rarity emerges in high-grade uncirculated and gem conditions. Coins that avoided heavy bag marks, surface abrasions, or dull luster are increasingly difficult to locate. This condition's scarcity, rather than low production numbers, drives strong collector demand and elevates premium examples into the category of ultra-desirable modern classics. Condition sensitivity and grading. Condition plays a decisive role in the value of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional services are particularly sought after, as they showcase full luster, sharp design elements, and minimal contact marks. Certified specimens provide collectors with confidence and long-term security, making them preferred choices in competitive numismatic markets, error coins, and special interest varieties. Certain 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Next up in 2. The 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar stands as a fascinating and highly sought-after piece within modern American numismatics, admired for its subtle rarity, historical resonance, and enduring collector appeal. While not widely encountered in everyday circulation, this Denver-minted issue captivates enthusiasts because of its unique production circumstances and its strong connection to a transformative era in U.S. history. For collectors who appreciate coins that blend symbolism, strained availability, and aesthetic strength, the 1973 D half-dollar represents a prized treasure that continues to grow in desirability. Its status as a coin primarily available through official mint sets adds to its mystique, making it a compelling target for both seasoned numismatists and ambitious newcomers. Historical context: a coin born in a transitional era. The 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar was minted during a period of economic adjustment and cultural change in the United States. Issued just a decade after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the coin remained a powerful tribute to his legacy. By 1973, silver had already been removed from circulating half-dollars, marking a new chapter in U.S. coinage focused on copper-nickel-clad compositions. The Denver Mint produced this issue not for general circulation, but specifically for inclusion in official U.S. mint sets, reflecting a shift in how collectors accessed contemporary coinage. This limited distribution method firmly ties the coin to a unique moment in American monetary history, placed within the Kennedy half-dollar series. Within the broader Kennedy half-dollar series, the 1973 D issue occupies a distinctive and respected position. Unlike earlier circulation strikes or later high-mintage releases, this coin belongs to a small group of early 1970s issues that were never released for everyday commerce. As a result, collectors often regard it as a semi-key modern date when assembling a complete date-hand mint collection. Its role as a bridge between the early silver era and later mass-produced clad issues strengthens its historical importance and reinforces its reputation as a tangible link to evolving mint policies. Minting location and production significance. Struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the bold D mint mark on the obverse, the 1973 D half-dollar reflects the precision and consistency for which the facility is known. The Denver Mint's role during this period was crucial, supplying high-quality coins intended primarily for collectors rather than circulation. This limited production pathway significantly influenced how many examples survived in premium condition. Because most coins remained sealed in mint packaging, pristine specimens are attainable but still far scarcer than typical circulation issues from other years. Obverse design, a timeless presidential portrait. The obverse of the 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar features Gilroy Roberts' iconic left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy. The design captures dignity, optimism, and strength, qualities that continue to resonate deeply with collectors. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame the portrait with balanced elegance, while the date, 1973, and the discrete D mint mark anchor the coin historically. In high-grade condition, the obverse displays sharp hair detail, smooth fields, and strong luster that elevate its visual appeal. Reverse design, symbolism of strength and unity. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's presidential seal design delivers powerful symbolism. The heraldic eagle, clutching arrows and an olive branch, represents both readiness and peace, reinforcing enduring American ideals. A ring of stars encircles the eagle, symbolizing the unity of the states, while bold lettering announces United States of America and half dollar. When well preserved, the reverse reveals crisp feather detail and strong contrast, making high-grade examples especially striking to collectors. Composition, size, and physical characteristics. The 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar is composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure, with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 11.34 grams, measures 30.6 mm in diameter, and has a reeded edge. These specifications align with modern half dollars, yet the coin's overall finish, particularly in mint-set condition, often appears sharper and more refined than circulation strikes from later decades. Visual appeal in high-grade condition. In uncirculated or near-gem condition, the 1973 D half dollar can display impressive mint luster, clean fields, and sharply struck devices. Many collectors seek examples graded MS-65 or higher, where the coin exhibits strong eye appeal and minimal contact marks. Coins with frosty brilliance or subtle tunning patterns are especially admired, as they enhance the artistic depth of the design and elevate the coin beyond its face value significance. Rarity explained, scarcity THR. Next up, the Kennedy half dollar is one of the most famous coins in U.S. history, not just for its design, but for the story behind why it was created in the first place. After President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, there was a huge public desire to memorialize him, and the U.S. Mint responded by introducing this coin in 1964 with his portrait on the obverse front. The design, featuring Kennedy's profile, was created by Gilray Roberts, while the reverse back, showing the presidential seal, was by Frank Gasparo. Thinganeringginfo. By the time we get to 1974, the Kennedy half dollar had been produced for a full decade. The coin had gone through changes in metal composition since its introduction, originally made with significant silver content in the 1960s, then reduced, and finally switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition after 1971. This means that a 1974 half dollar has no silver in it. Instead, it uses an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper core. Rarestorg. Why it might not have a mint mark. A coin without a mint mark, which is what you're asking about, means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1974, the Philadelphia Mint did not use the letter P mint mark on half dollars, so no mint mark appears on the coin. Rarestorg. What does no mint mark mean? No mint mark equals minted in Philadelphia. Coins from the Denver Mint have a D mint mark. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint have an S mint mark. Kennedy half dollars net. So if your 1974 half dollar simply shows Kennedy's portrait and the date with no mint mark near or above the date, you most likely have a Philadelphia issue. Rarestorg. Brain historical context of 1974. The year 1974 was a significant period in U.S. history beyond coin minting. America was dealing with economic and political challenges. The 1973 oil crisis had triggered inflation and economic stress. President Richard Nixon resigned in August 1974 due to the Watergate scandal, a major political upheaval. So even though the half dollar carried Kennedy's image, it served as a small reminder of the nation's past leadership during uncertain times in the present. Rarestorg. Additionally, 1974 was the last year the regular Kennedy half-dollar was produced before the U.S. Mint prepared for the 1975-1976 bicentennial design, which celebrated 200 years since the Declaration of Independence. After 1974, there were no new half-dollars dated 1975. The next standard release carried the special dual date, 1776, 1976. Kennedy half-dollars net. Straight ruler specifications of the coin, 1974, no mint mark. Here are the key physical and design details for the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, with no mint mark. Denomination, 50 cents half-dollar. Composition, copper nickel clad, no silver. Weight, about 11.34 grams. Diameter, 30.61. Edge, reeded tiny grooves around the edge. Portrait, John F. Kennedy on the obverse. Reverse, U.S. Presidential Seal. Mint, Philadelphia, no mint mark. Rarestorg. Everyone from collectors to casual observers recognizes the Kennedy half because of Kennedy's status as a beloved U.S. president and the beauty of the design. Rarestorg. Money bag value and collectability. Even though the coin has historical interest, most 1974 no mint mark half-dollars are common because over 200 million were made at Philadelphia that year alone. That means most of these coins found in circulation are worth just their face value, 50 cents, especially if worn from use. Cointrekkers.com. However, higher quality uncirculated examples can be worth more, especially if in excellent condition. CoinNo. Rare certified high grades can fetch significant prices at auctions. Examples of top-condition coins have sold for thousands of dollars. CoinNo. Still, most 1974 Philadelphia half-dollars stay collected for historical or sentimental reasons, rather than big monetary value. Next up, the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark was produced by the United States Mint in Philadelphia, and the absence of a mint mark means it was struck there. This coin continues the famous Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964, created to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination in 1963. By 1978, the Kennedy half-dollar was no longer made of silver. Instead, it was composed of a copper-nickel clad composition, with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, along with the word Liberty, the national motto In God We Trust, and the date 1978. The reverse back, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the presidential seal, including a heraldic eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. In 1978, millions of these coins were minted primarily for circulation, but public use of half-dollars had declined, so many coins were saved by collectors rather than spent. Because of its large mintage and common availability, the 1978 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is generally not rare, but it remains popular among collectors for its historical significance and connection to President Kennedy. Coins in uncirculated or mint-state condition can carry a small premium, while coins with errors or exceptional quality may be worth more. Overall, the 1978 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar represents an important era in modern U.S. coinage, reflecting both American history and the changing role of half-dollars in everyday commerce. The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and continues the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy. By 1978, the coin was made in a copper-nickel clad composition rather than silver, reflecting changes in U.S. coinage metals. The obverse shows Kennedy's left-facing portrait with Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1978, while the reverse features the presidential seal with an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. Although millions were minted and the coin is not considered rare, it remains popular with collectors due to its historical significance, and examples in uncirculated condition or with mint errors may carry a slightly higher value. Next up, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark was produced by the Philadelphia Mint, as U.S. coins struck in Philadelphia during this period did not carry a mint mark. This coin continues the Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963. By 1979, the composition of the Kennedy half-dollar had already changed from silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1979. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, displays the presidential seal, including an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. In 1979, Kennedy half-dollars were mainly struck for circulation, but by this time the coin was rarely used in everyday commerce, as the public tended to save them rather than spend them. Millions of 1979 no-mint mark coins were produced, making them common rather than rare, and most examples are valued close to face value, 50 cents, unless found in exceptionally high mint state condition. While not considered a key date, the 1979 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar remains an important part of U.S. coinage history, representing the continued legacy of President Kennedy and the transition of American coins away from precious metals toward modern clad compositions. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks on coins at that time. This coin is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, introduced after silver was removed from half-dollars in 1971. It features a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the front, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1979. The back of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparro, shows the presidential seal with an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. Although millions were minted for circulation, the coin was not commonly used in daily transactions, making it familiar yet often saved by collectors. Today, the 1979 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is generally worth face value unless found in excellent uncirculated condition, where it may carry a small premium. Next up, the 1984 Kennedy half-dollar is part of the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series introduced by the United States Mint in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary U.S. minting facilities. By 1984, Kennedy half-dollars were no longer made from silver for circulation. Instead, the 1984 D issue was composed of a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of copper-nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The coin features a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1984. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, displays the presidential seal, including an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. During the 1980s, half-dollars were rarely used in everyday commerce, so many 1984 D coins went straight into storage, making high-grade examples easier to find than earlier circulation issues. While the 1984 D Kennedy half-dollar is generally considered a common coin and usually holds modest value in circulated condition, it remains popular among collectors completing Dayton mint sets of the Kennedy series. Its importance lies more in its historical continuity, representing the modern era of U.S. coinage and the enduring legacy of President Kennedy, rather than in rarity or precious metal content. The 1984 D. Kennedy half-dollar was minted at the Denver Mint as part of the ongoing Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy. This coin is made of copper-nickel-clad metal, not silver, reflecting the modern composition used after 1970. The obverse features John F. Kennedy's left-facing portrait, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1984, while the reverse shows the presidential seal, created by Frank Gasparro, symbolizing national strength and peace. Although half-dollars were rarely used in everyday circulation during the 1980s, millions of 1984 D coins were produced, making them common today. But they remain important to collectors as a symbol of America's modern coinage era and President Kennedy's lasting legacy.